स्टार्ट कौन सा भी नहीं, एक हो चुका है यहाँ पे वेस्टर्न स्टॉर्म वाला।
Ground it is, especially in the sunshine. It's absolutely beautiful. Here's one, starts to run up again, number 95 on a back, right arm over and left alone outside off stump once again by the captain Holly Armitage. Right, ripple of applause from the players and a few in the crowd as well. If you are listening, do get in touch at North_Diamonds on the Twitter feed.
Started, I'd say, other than that edge first ball, she's just been a little bit short in terms of her length so far.
Yeah, this one a bit fuller and dug out by Holly Armitage. Straight back to the bowler and there's no run. The Northern Diamonds still on 2 for no wicket. Plenty of encouragement going around already. Just the 15 first-class matches for Izzy Wong so far. List A matches, sorry. 3 games last year in the Rachel Hay Flint Trophy. 3 wickets, an average of just over 35 as she starts. We're again up to the wicket now, right up over, and that's a little bit shorter and wider outside off stump. And once again, left alone by Holly Armitage, and that is the end of the first over.
We're off and running, Wes. First over in.
Always great to get the first one under the bat. And a couple of runs on the board as well, but plenty of time left to go, of course. 50 overs aside, max 10 per bowler, as you would come to expect from a 50 over game. Just wait to find out who the opening bowler from the football stand end is. Just flicking a cap to her teammate. Because the umpires can't touch anything with all these COVID rules and regulations that were brought in over the last year or so. As I say, it's great to see some fans back. I'm sure the players will thoroughly appreciate it. The Emily Arlott from the football stand end. 23 years old, played for Worcestershire since 2013. Played 6 games in last year's Rachel Hay Flint Trophy, all 6 that the Sparks played. Just the 3 wickets there, average of 69.66. Best of 1 for 24, but she'll be hoping she can kickstart this season a little bit better, but as I say, still early doors this season. It's the first game, but plenty of time to get some wickets under her belt. Start to run now, right arm over the wicket to Winfield Hill. Bowls now, that's a good length, just back of a length, and defended by Winfield Hill out to point, and there's no run.
2 new balls, of course, 1 from each end, so it's be interesting to see if Arlott can get a bit of shape like Wong offered. I was actually down with Izzy Wong just before the game, watching her pick out the match balls. She was looking for a couple of chunky seams.
Arlott running in now up to wicket balls, and that's slightly shorter, but defended again and back up the wicket by Winfield Hill. 4-no run. You know, when you're looking for a new ball, you do want. I personally like quite.
Offside 4, ring driven powerfully to mid-off where there's a fumble. It goes past her where mid-on has to come and retrieve the ball. There's a sneaky single there from a misfield. Score moves on to 13 without loss. That brings Davidson Richards on to strike. Dick, that was a lovely shot through the leg side towards the end of the last over. Nicely timed.
Yep, it certainly was.
very timed beautifully as it travelled across the square to the short boundary. Long boundary is towards the pavilion. Datani, away from us, passing the umpire, left arm over. This time it's a Chinese cut, an inside edge, which is fortuitous to say the least. There is one run as it goes to short fine leg. The keeper does the fielding. One more run, showing lots of intent here. The South East Stars. If you'd have watched sort of the 9 balls we've seen so far, you would almost suggest is it a T20? They've shown tremendous positive intent so far. Datani on her way in again. Bowls, good length, driven down the ground, straight to mid-off where there is no run. Other fixtures today, well, the Sunrise and South East Stars are here. The Northern Diamonds are playing Central Sparks at Headingley. The Western Storm are playing the Northwest Thunder at Bristol, and the Southern Vipers are playing Lightning at Southampton, the Ageas Bowl. This is pulled nicely. Well, it's a bit of a pickup shot for 6. The umpire signals 6, and it's gone square leg there. So short of the fine leg fielder on the boundary, had no chance of getting there. It was timed beautifully again by Bryony Smith, who moves quickly to 14 now, is it? Yes, 14, 20 without loss. Super shot there. Datani runs in up the hill. She bowls short. It's pulled. They're going to take 1, possibly 2 here, as fine leg has to move very fine to retrieve the ball close to the boundary, and Smith returns for her second 22 without loss.
Yeah, very good start by the visitors. Helped, it has to be said.
Single, good noise, good energies out there from the women in black. They're dressed in black with a tinge of red numbers, red sort of around the cap. That's the Sunrisers, and the South East Stars are very similar to an old Glamorgan kit, T20 kit, which is sort of dark blue bottoms with a bright fluorescent yellow top with a bit of blue. A couple of blue hoops across their chest. So good colourful kits. Sunrisers are in black, and the South East Stars are in blue and yellow.
So it's Gayatri goal to continue from the Hayes close end. A ball of very full length on or just outside the leg stump, just nudged round the corner for a single. We would welcome emails if you care to send them to us, whether you're supporting the Sunrisers, the South East Stars, or women's. The email should have been held. It was about up by her left ear, up by number 14, Joe Gardner's left ear, and she should really have held it. The player didn't get to the pitch of the ball and lobbed out to her some 30 yards from the bat. That's just played defensively, trickles out to mid-on. No addition to the score. I'll repeat that email address: BBC Essex Cricket, all one string of however many letters that is, at gmail.com. Same email address as we've been using all season. As goal moves in again and bowled short of a length, chopped away. Very handy to get to, plenty of time, 50 over match, and short of a length again and played out into the covers, and it is fielded by Joe Gardner in the covers.
Yeah, good bit of fielding that. Sadly she dropped the one earlier in the over, but that kicked, as there's 2 coconut mattings out there protecting wickets. One of them will be the Nottinghamshire key game for Essex men later this week.
Next length, and at the end of the over, and it has to be said that the South East Stars have made by far the better start, because after only 3 overs they're 25 without loss.
Better over for me from goal then. nice action, quite tall, stands tall in the crease, follows through nicely down the wicket. He's going to looking around as there's an LBW shout, but it was half-hearted really, decent length. Hit the batsman Davidson Richards on the pads. No run, no leg by. Simple dot ball. Just looking at the field placings. She got up off the floor, did Joe Gardner, and got into a throwing position very early on and saved a run there because they were entertaining the second run. Just the one run to Davidson Richards, which brings Barney Smith on to strike. Well fielded by Joe Gardner then at squarish.
It's a good throw as well.
Tatani bowls, pitched up into the leg side. It's drilled. Nice action, follows through nicely down the wicket. Pitched up, driven down the ground, good looking shot, well stopped, a diving stop there by number 7, and that is Kelly Castle.
Local girl, born in Southend, where I come from.
Oh, what? Suddenly looking a little bit better in the field as Tatani bowls. It goes down to fine leg where they take a single. The one thing I've noticed, Dick, after the 4 overs where the score is 28 for no wicket, having been put in by the Sunrisers are certainly maybe a bit nervous in those first couple of overs, but they certainly look a little bit more settled now and are fielding a lot better now than they did early doors. But it looks a flat deck, Dick, it really does. It looks nice to bat on.
It certainly does, yes. Certainly the visiting players are making it look fairly easy to bat on. So it's going to be goal to continue from the Hayes close end. Right arm over the wicket, moves in now, bowls a ball of full length, in fact over pitch slightly, pushed out on the onside, and they go through for 2 comfortable runs. The ball fielded in front of the empty community stats. Goal moves in again and bowls. And more run, well no, not runs in the plural, runs in the singular run. Down to Catherine Speed, fielding in front of us at third man. So Smith has 19 to her name. Davidson Richardson is also in double figures. She has 10. And the South East Stars, having been put into bat, are 31 without loss in the midway through the 5th over. A ball again of very full length, and it's called a wide.
Just I had to put on layers of bug spray every day.
Really? You've been to Sri Lanka playing. How good is that? Bell bowls. It's down the next side. It's going to be another wide. I don't think Bell's going to bowl another over after that, but we'll have to wait after this. Wait and see. Who was that with?
So that was actually with Wiltshire Cricket. Kind of age group squads to
young lady, just 17 I think. We'll learn more about her in due course. Tatani away from us, up the slope bowls. Good delivery, an immaculate forward defence, played up to mid-on, there is no run. And of course this team of Sunrisers is a collection of teams that in fact represent Middlesex, Essex, Northants, Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire, Hertfordshire, Huntingdonshire, Norfolk, Suffolk and indeed the MCC. So the Sunrisers have a pull of players from those regions. As Tatani comes in, could be a wide and signalled a wide outside off stump, where the umpire returns towards us, signals to the adjacent box where the scorers are there for the day. And the South East Stars, really, it looks slightly lonely to see that they sort of represent Surrey and Kent, but there's obviously an enormous population of people around Kent and Surrey. As this time another good delivery from Tatani, which drags Davison Richards forward to play a forward defensive, back down to mid-off. There is no run.
Yes, when you look at the composition of the 8 sides, yes, in the number of counties that are there, sort of comprise these sides, they do look a bit of a mismatch. But obviously, as you imply, it's the populations that count rather than the size of the counties.
Tatani comes in, bowls. This is a good looking shot, just a bit of width. They're going to take one, they're going to look for two. No, it's well fielded because the young lady in question released the ball very early to ensure that they didn't return for the second run. I thought that was a pretty good over from Tatani, who's now bowled 3 overs, who's gone for 15, where Goal has bowled 3 overs, gone for 22. Perhaps a bit nervous in that first over from the Hayes close end. And as I said to you just now, Dick, we have a sanitisation break, I think, what we often see at Chelmsford. And Billy Stanlake, no less, just last week or the week before for Derbyshire, had a no ball problem. He struggled at the Hayes close end. Many bowlers do. You have to get used to that slope here. We talk about Hove. We know how famous the slope is at Hove. There's a little one at the slope at Lords that goes across the wicket, and also at Headingley there's a slope, but nobody ever talks about the Chelmsford slope. There's quite an accent here.